doing some art that your child can create at home with some of the items that I have here. Okay, this type of art that we're going to do is going to be child generated, which is geared primarily towards your child. Okay, it's called process art, which is that there's no adult helping out creating this type of art. It's basically you give your child a bunch of supplies and they will create something. So I will give you different ideas that you can do with different items like I have here, on different types of art that your child can create. Okay, so the first type of art that I have here, you can go on a nature walk with your child in the backyard, or around, like I said, around the neighborhood if you go for a walk. Okay, and you can pick up leaves, okay, different types of leaves, twigs. I have some mulch here. Okay, and if you have just like a regular piece of paper, okay, or you can even use a paper plate. Your child can glue. I don't have any glue. You would need the Elmer's school glue, the liquid glue. A stick glue wouldn't work well with this. But if you get the liquid Elmer's glue, this would work best because the pieces would actually stick to the paper. So the child can create any kind of an image that they want. They can make patterns. They can make an animal. They can recreate basically anything. So you could do like on a piece of paper like this, or they can even glue it on a paper plate. You know, if you give them your child the supplies, they could do what they want. Also, another thing that you can do is, so if you have gift paper, tissue paper, your child can rip up pieces, okay, and crumble it up and create art that way and glue it to the paper like so. And they can also, I have string here, they can, you know, glue string. They can paint the string. I have paint. They can paint the string if they want and glue it to the paper, or they can glue it to the plate. It would be cute if you can make like a little mobile with your plate and hang the string. It could look like a little octopus. You can create like a, you know, you can give your child a theme, like, oh, let's create a zoo theme, or let's create an ocean theme, like the beach. Maybe if you go to the beach, if you can get some sand or some seashells, you can even do this as art as well. So this is one way that you can kind of create, your child can create their own art. Okay, I'll show you another activity that your child can do. Okay, so I have a plate here. I have squirted different color paint. Okay, now you can have your child paint on many different things and use many different things to paint with. I have paper here. This is a little bit thicker than construction paper, so it's a little bit more heavy duty. The paint won't kind of seep through it. So you can use paper like I do. You can use and create art on a paper plate here. Your child can make an art masterpiece on here. And your child can also paint on, okay, your child can also paint on aluminum foil. Okay, you can kind of put it on a cookie sheet and make sure that it's taut down, and they can paint on hand. Okay, so if your child likes, this also serves as like a sensory input as well. So if your child likes that crinkling sound, this activity with the aluminum foil will be perfect to okay. Now, what you can use to paint, the children can use their fingers. Finger painting is always fun. You know, they could make their handprints, and each finger could be like a little family, and you know, you can give them markers and they can draw like the family using their handprints. There's a lot of different things that you can do with your hands. You can even create animals, like you can create a turkey, you can create a peacock just by handprints. Okay, you can use a fork to kind of have like a design. So I'll just show you. I'll dip into some orange here. Okay, and so it creates dip into some green. Okay, so you can use a fork. Your child can use one of these foam little spatulas here to paint. Okay, so let's see, I'll dip into some yellow. And they could go like this and paint. You can use that. Your child can also use popsicle stick. And they can create like different like that. Your child can also use a toothpick, I'm sorry, a Q-tip. So let's dip into some color here, and it creates that. So you have different textures to create art. Okay, and your child can also use string and dip into some string, and it's okay if they get paint on their fingers. That's a part of the learning process. Okay, they can use a string. You can also use the rim of a cup. Okay, so let's see, I'm gonna go like this. I have some orange there. I have some green. Let's see. Get some blue. What else? Yellow. Let's get some yellow. This is like a sparkly blue. Let's see this one. Sparkly blue. So I didn't do like the whole thing, but you can if you wanted to. And then look at that. That's pretty neat as well. And they can even use the brush, and they can brush with the rim, right? So you could take this little brush and they can brush around the rim. Another fun thing you can do, a sponge. You can use a sponge. You can cut it into shapes, little pieces. So I have a piece here that I've already cut, and I'll dip into some orange. And since it's like porous, you'll see like the different like the pores. So that's a pretty cool effect, and I did that just with the sponge alone. That's very cool. I like that. I love the sponge effect. Also, if you wanted to like go an extra step and do something really cool, you can frame these. So you can let this dry, right? You can kind of frame, put this in a frame and hang it up in your house. I think it's really cool to have your children see that you have displayed their art pieces, their masterpieces in the home, and that you really took the time to put it in a picture frame and hang it up in the house. I think that's really cool. The kids will really enjoy that. They'll be so happy that they have put a piece of themselves to decorate the house. It makes them feel really, really good. So you can do that on a piece of paper, like a thick paper, and you can have it framed. Also, if you want to go, they're not that expensive, but if you want to go and get canvas, and they have like little squares, you can get canvas, and your child can do this different kind of painting on a canvas, and you can hang it up. And once you paint on a canvas, all you gotta do is with this brush here, okay, you put it in the Mod Podge and you just paint it. You make a nice layer of Mod Podge, okay, and it's gonna be white, but it will dry clear because this is matte. I believe they also have a glazed Mod Podge. They have a glazed Mod Podge that you can do, so it'll be like a little bit of a glaze. But if you don't want a glaze, you can get a matte Mod Podge, and that will kind of be like a little protective coating that you can do if you choose to do art piece on a canvas. That's really nice. You can decorate the piece, put it in your child's room, put it in the living room. You can hang one up in the kitchen. I have a few canvas pieces in my home that people have painted for me. I have one in my kitchen of fruit, and a coffee one in my room as well, in my kitchen as well. Next, I'll show you how to do painting on a foil. Okay, so I have laid down my foil on top of the white paper to kind of collect the excess paint, and just run my hands through it like this to kind of paint. When I lift it up, the paint kind of transferred. So that's another way that you can create foil. You can also use the same thing, the different techniques that I showed you about using a fork, right? You can use a fork and you can create paint that way. And like I said, this serves as sensory because the foil makes a lot of noise. So if your child loves that sensory inputs of noise, this will definitely create art and have sensory. So you can do like this with a Q-tip, or you could do with a brush and paint that way. And then you could do the same thing with the cup, line the rim of the cup and do that way too. You could do that on the foil as well. And you could do the same thing with sponge. Oops. Let me get some color here. See? And then if you have marbles, if you put it in like a cardboard box, or you can put it in the cookie sheets and kind of tip the, put like different paints and tip the cardboard box, like sway it left and right. The marbles can also create like a very cute design as well. That's always fun to do art with marbles. I hope you enjoy this. Bye-bye.